Hello and welcome to the Lily Pod, Catapult Greater Pittsburgh's podcast where we discuss all things community, politics, and people. Very excited with our guest today, Miss Lisa Freeman. Miss Lisa Freeman is doing some incredible things on the north side of Pittsburgh, and we're so honored that she took time out of her busy, busy day, and we will talk about why she's so busy lately. But thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you for being here and joining me for a conversation to update everybody about the incredible things that you have been up to.
And thank you, Miss Tammy, for being a long-time supporter and encourager for
It's a
all
pleasure.
things good.
It's a pleasure,
Thank
right?
you.
And so we're going to use our platform today to update people because you have been on a journey. It's
Mhm.
been an incredible journey. It's been a really moving journey. I'm really moved by your story. And I think all people have an origin story, whether they're the good guys or a villain, right? So I like telling the origin stories of the good guys, and you are one of the good guys. So let's just jump right in. Freeman Family Farm, now Freeman Family Farm Store.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us how the Freeman Family Farm came about.
Freeman Family Farm started after a while of being a urban farmer on city-owned property at multiple sites, and realizing that when you're on someone else's property, you got to follow someone else's rules.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of vacant land in the city of Pittsburgh. And I struck out and tried to find a property that I could call my own. And I found a condemned building in Manchester. It was a warehouse, and it had sat condemned for a long time. And originally, I bought the building because my son is on the autism spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
and the four walls were standing, but it was condemned. And I said, this would be a wonderful, safe space for children on the spectrum to be able to be outside, to learn how to grow and be safe. Well, we bought the building, and it was unsavable, and we had to tear down the building. I call it a building, but it was actually a warehouse.
Got it.
It was over 10,000 square feet of a condemned warehouse. And I'll skip past some of the story, but as soon as I tore the building down, a lot of people thought there's no way I was going to do it. But I'm a social worker with a lot of connections and a lot of things I've been involved with, and I partnered with Job Corps, and they came and they tore the building down with no zero cost to me.
Wow.
And some other people stepped up to help me. And as soon as I tore the building down, it became prime real
Mm-hmm.
estate.
Oh, yeah.
10,000 square feet in a city lot. That's like urban acreage. Uh, and so it became prime. And then someone sued me for our land. And they were suing me. Our local CDC was suing me because they wanted the property.
Oh, well.
And at the same time, my husband was diagnosed, or it was happening all in the same time span. My husband was diagnosed with terminal cancer,
Oh, my.
pancreatic cancer, which is terminal, stage 4, right from the beginning. And then it was COVID hitting, and I was unemployed. So we had someone suing us, COVID, being unemployed.
Wow.
And I took that time and I went to Bidwell Training Center. And I took the culinary course, and I learned how to cook fresh vegetables, herbs. And previous to that, I just grew just to play in the dirt. That's all I wanted to do. It was very therapeutic. I would grow everything and just give it back for free, just for the joy of it. And once my husband started eating what I was cooking, he lost some weight, some good weight. He was out in the garden. He was listening to the birds. He was in the sun, enjoying life, while we're trying to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to manage. And then all of a sudden, the cancer disappeared.
Wow.
So he had 6 months to live from his diagnosis. And my husband continued living well for 1 year, for 2 years, 3 and 4, 5. And we were there getting ready to say, it's a miracle. And he would go in for his scans every 6 months, every 3 months, then went to every 6 months. And then year 6 came, and he's still doing good, very strong. Year 6 and 6 months, he went from one of his scans test, and they found a microscopic cell, like the size of the point of a needle.
Wow.
And they watched it for a while, and then it was cancer, and it came back very aggressively. He started with chemo again and got tired of chemo. I gave him a break. And after, he took a break, 2 weeks later, he passed on.
Oh my God.
But the story of this is that we were blessed with 7 great years where he could have, ended his life at 6 months. But look, I'm tearing up. We went 7 years,
That's
and
incredible.
I am so grateful.
I'm grateful too. Let me, because I heard a couple of things in here, right? Number one, I'm so sorry for your loss. I can't even begin to imagine what you and your family went through. But on the upside of that, you took a tsunami of problems. Really, it sounds like a tsunami of problems all at once. And you decided, instead of sitting in those problems, that you were going to look for solutions. Going to shout out to Bidwell, Bidwell's Culinary. I've heard incredible things about their programs, both their horticultural program and their culinary program. So check them out. But you taking time to apply to these programs, to go into the program with all these issues around you, says something to me. It says, number one, you're a soldier. And I believe in purpose very, very strongly. I believe that many of the things that are born out of despair grow in purpose. And I'm really impressed by that. And I'm impressed by your purposeful spirit, because that's what it really takes to be in the midst of a storm and grow something beautiful out of it. So your husband had these incredible years, all due to God and to your commitment to making at least an impact in making him better, making him feel better during that terrible, terrible time. So tell us what happened after that. You learned something about food for sure, and food as a healing.
Food is a healing, but then let's step back a little bit. It's not easy going through a storm, but when you find people who support you and can nurture you while you're in that storm, and that's exactly what Catapult did for me.
I'm so glad.
At that time, I was in that storm, and I was in the very first cohort of the culinary.
Oh my goodness.
The very first one. And I was there with a group of other food entrepreneurs, and I was a little different because I was into farming, but not to diminish it, just having a group of people who are like-minded, who are all going together to a place of success. It was beautiful. And our time started there, and it continues even now. So it was with your support and a few other people who helped me through the storm. Our mission now is food is medicine.
Yes.
And that's where we got it. My husband died, and I have to share this little caveat, because that brought me to this place as well. My husband when he became sick, he was already a Christian, and he's from the Baptist faith and grew up in the Baptist church. As he went through sickness, it's important to me that in this time and age where religion is not as strong as prior generations, my husband became much more spiritual. And spiritual, in a definition, is what you do when no one's watching.
Yes.
It's not the rules or formalities or things you go to when you go to that place of worship. It's when you're in your quiet time, what you and God talk about,
That's right.
what you and God do, whatever that relationship is. When he was going through that sickness, he was also always so thankful and grateful, and he would not let hate or anger sit in his spirit. When we prepared, while we were going through the process, he let me know what he wanted. And there's a form that's called 5 Last Wishes, and it's a health directive, that when you have to make health decisions of what you want done at your end of life. And he told me he didn't want to be buried, which is almost unheard of in the Baptist church.
The Baptists love a good funeral.
He didn't want no funeral.
Right.
He didn't want no repast. He didn't want no memorial. He didn't want this, and this. And he said, Lisa, when I pass, I want you to call the undertaker. He's going to take my body, and the next day I'm going to get cremated.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, yes, sir. I just did it just willy nilly because, okay, that's what you want. When it happened, I followed his directions. And that next day, I'm like, ooh, there's nothing. There was no closure for me. And I looked on our mantle. His wallet was still there. His
Mm.
keys was still there. I'm like, when's Wallace coming back from the store?
Yeah.
Like, where is he at? It happened so quick. And I went into a state. I'm like, oh, it's really happening. Now, like what I was used to, that closure, all that formality wasn't there. So I started writing in my journal. I started writing like, God, I was a little mad at everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Truthfully, I was mad at God. I was mad at this woman who was suing me,
Mm-hmm.
and I blamed her for killing my husband,
Oh, yeah.
taking all our time and resources trying to find lawyers, paying for lawyers, going through all this nonsense when he was sick. And I started writing about it in my journal, and those journals turned it into grant applications.
And when did they turn into this incredible book?
And then they turned into that book.
Wow. See, again, purpose driven.
That's exactly what that
This is a
person
purpose
said to
dri-
me.
yes, this
We
is
don't want a
purpose
fucking
driven.
farm on our street.
Yes.
And I use that title. That's the name of my book.
Mm-hmm. Because
That,
somebody actually said that to you.
yeah.
Wow.
Food isn't valuable in our neighborhoods. Good health isn't valuable in our neighborhoods. It's the mighty dollar profit. We don't care about food. We don't care about low income people. We don't care about if you eat well or whatever. We don't care about cancer. We want developers in here who's going to bring all the money.
Capitalism. And
Capitalism.
what did capitalism do to our people? Right? Seriously, I think about that every single day. What did capitalism do to our people, our neighbors, the people who are supposed to care for one another?
We've lost all of
We've
that.
lost it.
Mhm.
I don't now I'm not pessimistic enough to believe we can't get it back.
I do believe that.
But we have lost something that compels people to give a damn about each other.
I refuse. I'm
That's
not going
right.
to live that kind of
No,
way.
we're not.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I
we're not.
refuse. And so that's another thing with our business. We have a model where it's donation only. There's no price tags except on our meat because we buy everything that's in our store. We support local businesses, area urban farms, rural farms, a meat supplier, a fish purveyor. We try and buy and support other small businesses because I'm a small business. That means something to me. But food is a right. It shouldn't be so, and good health is definitely a right. So in my store, you will not see Pepsi products. I'm just calling out Pepsi,
Yeah.
or soda products, or Lay's potato chips, or candy bars, because that's not really adding life to our bodies. That's adding sugar diabetes and calories, obesities. It's important to know what you put in
What
your
are you
body
putting in your
because we want to
body?
live long.
Yeah.
We don't want to have to be okay. I got to go through another death. I got to go through another funeral. I got to take care of my mother who's on oxygen on a wheelchair. We can live a good life. It's all in a matter of what we're eating.
That's right. And I think I love the idea that gardening and farming and on whatever scale you're doing it, there's a level of empowerment to that. So my family always had gardens as I was growing up, but I got away from it
Yeah.
as an adult. We got busy, you have kids, you have a job, it's just so much work, and it is a lot of work. But last year,
Oh, yeah, I noticed.
last year I knew I wasn't gonna have time to travel and spend summer anywhere else, and I was like, what could I do to make my summer enjoyable? And I decided to start a garden last year, and I know that gardening probably saved my life last year.
Really?
Gardening was huge for addressing my depression and my anxiety, and just something about being outside and touching the dirt
Absolutely.
and watching something
Therapeutic.
grow is absolutely therapeutic. Not to mention the nutritional value from growing something, going outside, grabbing your herbs, grabbing your vegetables, and taking them right in the house and cooking them. There is definitely something beautiful and therapeutic about that, and nutritional. And I have just decided that no matter where I live, whether it's a house or a condo or the old folks' home where I, where I might end up, right? Because you can grow something. Listen,
Anywhere.
you don't have to have a farm to grow food. You can grow food in a bucket. You can
Cardboard
grow
box.
food in a cardboard box. You can grow food in a burlap sack. So we have to dispel this myth that only people with who own their homes and have an abundance of land or and an abundance of time can grow food. You can.
Absolutely.
So are you doing any education around growing food?
So we have a meal prep class, and that's geared to everyone, and it's a very fun class. I'll have to put that out there. I have a special relationship and a heart for people who have a cancer, hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, pregnant women, and then we've been approached to add a line for elderly
Love.
senior citizens. So to show people how to cook and to eat, and then what you do with how the scraps, because there are no food scraps. There is nothing that we're going to lose. Those seeds that you take out of the red peppers, green peppers, if you put them on your counter and let them dry up, those you can plant.
Oh, wow.
Well, the onions that you cut the little root part off,
Oh, I've been keeping those.
you could plant, right, and root those.
Yes.
So there is no waste, and especially in the climate that we're in right now, food prices are already starting to rise, increase. We can't waste anything. So learning how to grow is one thing, but to be empowered with, you do not waste food. Turn it into something else.
Yeah.
Root this so you can have more. It's very important for us now. I understand. I'm very I sit on different panels with USDA, and they've cut all this billions of dollars out. Food stamps is next. Please understand.
People have to
Food
understand
stamps is next.
that food is changing. Our food supply will be negatively impacted. We don't know how, we don't know at what scale, but it is happening, and it's already happening. Farmers are losing subsidies. And we can have a long conversation at some point about farm subsidies. But these subsidies are keeping our food supply going. And without those, we are going to have disruptions in the food supply, which is why it's so important that we are getting food locally, that we are supporting local growers and local urban farmers. It is important that we are learning ourselves how to grow some type of food. Because you just don't know.
That's right.
We just don't know.
We don't know
what our food supply is going to look like. So.
Yeah, I'm going to keep stressing it, because sometimes I don't think we're really listening, or we're not really taking it seriously. But it's coming down to our level now, where they just now cut the free lunch food in schools.
Yeah.
So if you've been used to your children getting free lunch,
it might not be around next semester.
No.
I mean, when your kids go back to school in September, there might not be a free lunch program, right? We're hoping that it'll get reversed and that some of these decisions are just for show and chaos creation. But some of this stuff will stick at some level. So we really, really do have to change the way that we think about
Absolutely.
food.
And then the last one, the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank. They just got a $500 million freeze hit. So those things that we used to, rely on, maybe, those things might not be here. I don't want to scare anybody, but you have to be aware.
We have to make people aware.
And you have to start thinking about how you are going to maintain for your family.
One thing I'm really proud about Catapult. We have supported 3 local urban growers over the last few years. We have graduated 2. The Soil Sisters,
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Lisa and the Freeman Family Farm, Ebony Evans, Farmer Girl Ebb, who was in a previous episode. We know how important urban growers are. We know how important it is to have local food, especially in communities where there just isn't an abundance of food. People have to get more independent of needing our government, because we're seeing the evidence now that these folks can change their mind on a turn of a dime, depending on who. So it's never about doing what's right for us. We cannot depend on the government to
Cannot.
do that. We have to
Cannot.
get more
Self-sufficient.
self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or and when I say, because I don't believe really in self-sufficiency, I believe that we all need somebody, right? We all need each other, but we have to learn how to look inside our communities for what we need.
Mm-hmm.
And every community should have access to free food, which means we're going to have to make that happen.
And I heard what you just said, and I call it mutual aid.
Yes.
Mutual aid.
Mutual
We have to
aid.
come back to that. When we
That's right.
started talking about capitalism, look what,
Mm-hmm.
now we're going right back to where we need to
That's
be.
right.
Mutual
That's
aid.
right.
Helping one another. You need a cup of sugar, I got it. You got
Yes.
the flour, you got it.
I do believe that our country is heading to a reckoning,
Right.
a very overdue reckoning, by the way. I think the on the upside, which we always have to try to look to the upside.
Mm-hmm.
The upside is our communities are going to be forced to pull together. We're going to be forced into it.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be forced into going back to the old ways of taking care of each other and taking care of our neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing.
I think that's a great
I
thing.
do too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the way it's happening. I think there are a lot of us that are unprepared
Yeah.
for that, but we want to be part of helping people prepare. So over the next few months, we are going to be planning some and hosting and reaching out to people like you and
Mm-hmm.
Ebony and Raynice and from the Soil Sisters. But we need to educate our folks
Mm-hmm.
about what does this mean for their families? What does this mean, and what can they do about it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to take showing people how easy it is to grow their own food.
Yeah.
At least some food, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying we all gonna get chickens and cows and we're gonna grow rows and rows and rows of vegetables. That's not realistic
Mm-hmm.
for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
But there may come a point where you will be happy that you can go out in your backyard or your porch and pull something out of the ground to prepare for
Mm-hmm.
your family.
Right.
So I think we have to get intentional about bringing people in
Yeah.
and bringing people to the table, not scaring people. We don't want to frighten people, but we want people to understand what is really happening.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of you. On my way in, I saw your van. I saw your Freeman Family Farm Store van. Come
My
on.
one car parade.
But did you ever think that you would be talking about brand wrapping a van to deliver food and to use and utilize for growing food? My goodness.
I think everybody has a dream. Everybody has a vision. Everybody has this one goal in mind. The thing is, you have to start, just take one step
That's right.
every single day to that vision. Don't think you can't do it because you can.
That's right.
We all have those gifts and our talents. Sometimes we allow other people or ourselves, we'll talk ourselves out of things.
Absolutely. Ooh, you
And,
talking to me now. Wait a minute, Miss Lisa.
everybody has talent. Every single one of us has talent. You just have to get up every day and make up in your mind, I'm going to do one thing and I'm going to get that done. And then the next day, it'll come to you what that thing you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
The thing you do not want to do is just stop.
That's right.
Once you stop, it stops.
That's
That
right.
inspiration stops. You got to keep encouraging yourself. And once you get in a movement, other people will see you moving and come to your help. Like, oh, she's in that way, I'm going to come help her.
That's right. One other thing I heard that really stood out to me is we have to be able to ask for help when we need it.
Yes.
A lot of these ideas and even these God-given talents and skills that we have, sometimes they can fall by the wayside because we can't do everything on our own.
Mm-hmm.
I think I commend you for being able to ask for help. A lot of people
easy.
don't know how to ask for help, but in order to do this thing that we need to do from a community standpoint, people have to feel safe enough to ask for help. People have to be prepared for the rejection of no sometimes when you ask for help. But finding your village, finding the people that you can lean on that will support you as you are figuring out what that thing is so important. So what advice would you give people who have an idea, they have a talent, and they're afraid to ask for help? They don't know where to turn. Um, they are considering letting their dream die on the vine. What are you going to say to them?
Well, I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to turn the tables on you.
Uh-oh.
It's a trauma
Yes,
response
it is.
to say that I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to be afraid. It really is. But it's almost like it's in our DNA.
Mm-hmm. It
Because
probably
we are
is.
afraid because we've
Yes.
gone through so much. It's not easy to not be afraid,
Mm-hmm.
or it's not. I want to do this, but I got to have a plan A, B, C, D in case this don't work. I have to have all these other plans, or I'm afraid to ask for help. I don't want anybody to know I'm weak. I don't want anybody to know I'm suffering. You kind of like got to move out of all of that and just say, okay, I'm just going to do this. I'm going for. To me, I hate technology.
Yeah.
I hate phones, I hate computers, I hate social media, I hate all of that. Well, okay, that's not my forte. I'm just going to find somebody who can do that. I don't have to do everything.
And you're doing an incredible job on social media for somebody. You are. I see you everywhere. I see you've gotten other people to buy into what you're doing. I see other people sharing that video.
That video is
That
beautiful.
video, Lachelle, shout out to Lachelle
Did a wonderful job.
Bell on our team. She did an incredible video at her first visit to the store, and it's been shared hundreds of times. I think that's incredible.
All her friends have been there too.
Everybody, right? So because people believe in what you're doing. So all it takes is to have something that people believe in, and they will support it. They will share it.
Yeah.
So before we go, I'm going to ask you, what do you need from the community?
I need the community. On all my videos, I put "We Are One." That music, "We Are One."
Yeah.
That's what I want us to feel like. The Black community, the white community, all the community. We are one, and I want just to be our community to feel safe. I want our community to say, you know, I believe and I want to be one. I want to be one with that. I'm afraid. I'm so isolated. Come on out of isolation. Come on and see Miss Lisa. I'm sick. I'm struggling. I'm not like, I'm an outcast. We are one, baby. Come on.
Oh, I love that. So tell people how they can find you. Where can people find you on social media? But where can people find the store? How can they support the store?
The store is Freeman Family Farm Store. Our website is freemanfamilyfarmstore.com. We are located in the heart of Manchester at 1426 Juniata Street. My hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 3. But people know I live upstairs. So when they see me outside or on the patio, and I'm on a bike trail, they'll just wave and like, you know, come on, we are one, remember? Come on and see Miss Lisa. And if the gates are open, come on and sit on the patio. If you got something on your mind, you got a problem, let's try and work it out because we are one.
We are one. I am so proud of you. I know the behind the scenes of how hard you worked to get to this point. The perseverance that you have displayed is just incredible. And I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
And you know that if you ever need anything, we are here for you.
I need a trip right at
All right. Well, no, we don't get, so listen, she needs a trip. Buy the book. We don't want a effing farm on our street. The fact that a community-minded person actually said this blows my mind. I ain't going to call them out yet. But get this book. Can they get this? Where can people buy the book?
I have them at the store, or you can get it on Amazon.
All right. Go to the store and buy the book. Thank you, Miss Lisa. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
I am just astonished and just
Thank you
I
for
feel blessed.
Thank you for all your support.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
I feel blessed that I had a chance to sit with you. So you do not want to miss what is coming next. If you haven't subscribed to this podcast, you should, because Miss Lisa is one of the incredible people doing incredible things in our community, and you want to know what they're doing. So subscribe, follow, share, and we'll see you next time.